sunk an enemy destroyer.
Armor thick like an iron wall. Stand your ground, never fall. Shells rain down, I don't blink. Close the gap before you sink. She's no sprint, but she's still mean. USS Oregon's fight is cold and clean.
Hey team, this is Ripper. You guys are doing fantastic today. Got a fun video, interesting video about the Oregon, USS Oregon experimental ship. Burst fire in the air, and this is the gimmick right here, and boom, he goes down. That's going to be one of many splashes today, and basically the title of this video is, I think this Oregon thing is cheating, because you are literally giving basically magazine clip burst fire modes on the battleships. My gosh, is this super freaking powerful. But the experimental ships, I've kind of mixed feelings and reviews about it, but as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, bell button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. If you're new here today, thanks for stopping by, and if you like what we're doing, smash those buttons, and thank you for making this a great place about learning how to sail ships, shoot ships, and have a blast at the same time. So we got the burst fire here, selected, F funny button key, aiming right at the water line, and ouch. Oh, man. It takes a lot of help. Man, we actually take a lot of torpedoes there, but it was fun pushing in. But what is the USS Oregon? It is that experimental ship line that is available in the tech tree. So if you click on the tech tree, you actually go to the bottom left. There's a little tab, if you want to call it, the experimental ships. You click on that, and there's a plethora of new ones now. I think they're in their second stage. We just did reviews about the Varis, Hataki, I haven't done yet, the Protector as the new batch, and then the old batch was really the Vaizama, the Mets, whatever it's called, and then of course the USS Oregon, as you're seeing here in the background. And why do I think this is broken and cheating? Because basically you've got a Georgia hull with these amazing guns, but now the guns do just ridiculous amounts of power. And basically, it's the gimmick of that fight-or-flight gimmick. If you don't know what that is, the fight-or-flight gimmick basically allows you to, have increased dispersion, increased reload time, or a decreased reload time, decreased dispersion. Basically makes your gun super laser beams, all because you have less than optimal damage. Boom, splash 2 right there, just by hitting the dang hull right there. But you notice that these experimental ships with this funny button key will start off with half health, maybe lower than that, and that gives them basically the adrenaline rush kick in. You get the fight or flight mechanic, which now gives you basically laser beam amazing guns, and they just do horrendous amounts of damage. And it almost feels like you're cheating, because all you got to do is find cheek or broadsides or whatever, and you're basically plowing in just so much firepower. I mean, with 2, 4, 6, 8 shells times 2, 16 shells right into the guy. It's almost like having those 16 shell, like a Colombo or Mecklenburg, or what's another 16 ship gun system. Basically, you having those things on a USS Oregon kind of Georgia / hull with, the engine boost and whatnot. So you can get really amazing speeds to the flanks. And once you catch these open broadsides, man, oh man, does it do so much damage. Now, look at this Palmer right here. He's angled, but look at, we got the shot out. Watch, we're going to do a funny button key in a minute here. The guns are amazing. I mean, 457mm guns. I like them, very comfortable on the American side. I built this thing for reload, not accuracy, so we wanted to get faster reloads. And so take a look at this. So, yeah, standard broadside, right? 14,000, nothing. But this is that final finish him punch-out kick right here, where you're just basically plowing massive amounts of shells, and boom, he goes down. I mean, it is just so much firepower. Now, the only downside is you do have a limited amount, and the range is decreased. So notice here is the gimmick, your F button. Your reload time is up to 26 seconds now. The dispersion is incredible. Initial velocity increased by 100. Fire range is down to 12.5. The maximum damage is down to 14,000, but that doesn't matter because you're plowing so much into them, and you're limited to the amount of shells you have. You start off with 72, I believe, and once you fire them, it goes down. So watch this Montana right here, 101,000 damage, or I'm sorry, health. He takes a nice shot at us, and then we pop the heal. We heal so much back right there. You can see that it heals like crazy. And now we fire right into his broadside right there. If I can get it, you get the double burst, and boom, boom, boom. Nice, look at that. About 20-ish thousand damage. Not the greatest, but watch when we go around this island right here. Look what it does. It's incredible. All right, we're aiming kind of like the water line there. Funny button key activated. Boom, we're getting Citadel hits. My gosh. 11,000, 5,000. Ouch, he gets Montana gets us on a better exchange right there. But you could see right there, I mean, it does so much damage. We're up to 142,000 damage right now. And let's see if we can get back in the action here. Now, the downside of the battleship is it takes forever to get back into the game, so if we can get into this game, my goodness. But this game was pretty wild because we were just literally rocking and rolling all these ships going full broadside to us, and it's just so... Unbreakable Line's amazing. You see way more broadsides and brawling that I do enjoy this, and it's great because it's respawn and then 7 versus 7. So kind of like randoms, but without carriers and subs. Okay, Rune is going just juicy broadside right there. Look at the amazingness of that right there. So we just got to basically select funny button. We're within 12.5 kilometers, and you pretty much can just fire right into his structure here. Let's see if that works. Full send, shells in the air. Ouch. I don't know what happened there. The angle, he angled, but I guess the shells obviously overpin and overmatch his just bow armor right there and just go straight into his main superstructure. So he goes down just easily right there. Palmer coming in the view here, and let's see if we can do that. We have... I don't know. I think we do have a couple more burst fires. I have to check again. But yeah, the USS Oregon, I don't really know much about the USS Oregon. I might have to research and read. I think it was a real ship, unless it's experimental, like it just made up. But there is just so many ships out there. You need a PhD level in order to understand all this. But USS Oregon, what do I think about it? I'm glad that it's not a permanent thing in the game. Having things like this in the Vayuzama, just with these burst fire gimmicks, is just too much, I think. And... just not very interesting gameplay, in my personal opinion. It just, hey, let me see if I can click and shoot. And kind of like the Valparaiso, except the Valparaiso can survive a lot of this onslaught. But, yeah, U.S. Oregon, look at the amount of firepower, 170,000 damage. And, yeah, we'll take a look at another couple videos, and we'll see how it goes. Man, so freaking powerful. It is enjoyable, but, man, it's overpowered. All right, there's another fun game in Unbreakable Line. It's interesting of, like, well, how do I counter this thing? Basically, what I found as in a destroyer, I don't know much about cruisers and battleships in a sense, but as a destroyer player, how would I counter this thing? I really just go nose in and try to burn the thing down and try to, or use, if I'm in a druid, AP right on the bow. But it's really like, can you nose in and survive the onslaught of his super heals? And notice the super heals come back super dang quick. What is the cooldown time on this? So... yeah, 58 seconds. I mean, you're talking about going up against a Georgia, basically. So how would you counter a Georgia? I mean, he's only got 2 front turrets, so as long as you stay into his front bow facing and just keep him nose into you, he can't use that back turret. I mean, he already has only 6 guns anyways, so if you can limit that to only 2 guns and then limit his burst fire to 2 guns, that's probably the safest bet right there. Look at this, like Yoda right here. This is just, it just looks gorgeous right here from this angle. Now he's angled. Let's take a look at how these things bounce. Man, I don't know. I don't know what else he could have done in there. I mean, literally 457s. They overmatch a lot for kind of like this range. I'm not saying like Yamato overmatch levels, but I mean, Yodo and what is the other one out here? The Seattle, very light armored cruiser. So this thing is pretty much going to overmatch and just blast through all the armor anyways and just melt them. It doesn't matter where I hit, really. And here's another example of a shot. Slightly angled in is all you can do to avoid getting citadeled. Now, I think my aim is a little bad there. And 12,000. He actually angled pretty darn well right there. So, yeah, in order to mitigate this, just stay nose in as much as you can. Limit the guns to from 6 to 4. If you can only get the Oregon to use 4 guns, that limits a lot of the firepower and a lot of the burst. And that's pretty much it. The secondaries are, nobody builds for secondaries in the Oregon. It doesn't seem, it's not like one of those secondary ships that is in the new stage of experimental. But yeah, here's another shot, him angled. I thought this would have been a definite citadel. But no, we did not get it. We get a lot of damage, but a lot of overpins right there. So interesting RNG. It just RNG Jesus sometimes, just messes around with you. So look, I'm just staying broadside, see what I can do. I can survive a lot of this damage right here. The heal is almost coming back off a cooldown. So you can actually play the funny button key, just turn it on and off and seeing whether or not it makes sense to fire burst fire. Right here, I'm just going too fast and I totally missed it. So I'm going to wait till I get around this island. And this is where the Oregon shines, because of its sheer speed and able to get to these flanks. It really is what sells this thing. Kind of like the Georgia, again, flanking gameplay, where you're literally just blasting through the enemy lines. Using your ability to heal so bad. Like, look, my heal's already back, but this fight or flight gimmick right here, even though I'm at 27,000 health, that gives me a great dispersion, great shell velocity, great speed, and I should be able to take it. I took a practice shot here to see if I can citadel this guy. I did not. That's why I was like, I don't know if maybe if I had funny button that, I probably would have killed him, but I was like, you know what? We're this close in. I'm going to save the funny button for the Kearsarge. And this is the juicy moment with the USS Oregon right here, because of the fact that you can beat everybody to its broadside, and it's hard to get a ship started again once you're full broadside, and Blowie, there's the first Citadel right there. 82,000 damage. And here we got a broadside Kearsarge right here. Now, the problem is we have to survive his main guns right here, which are 12 guns to our 6. So here comes the burst fire. Let's see if we can blast this guy. I'm aiming just slightly above the horizon in case RNG cheats me right here. It does cheat me on a couple shells, but we got 22 plus 17, about 39,000. What, 27 plus... So, yeah, it's about 40-ish thousand almost damage right there. And he's still alive. So he's at the 5. I think we could burst fire this one. No, actually, maybe one salvo shot should take care of it. 8,000 probably is enough. There's a shot. It goes out. Full send. He's got 10,008 and... Oh, look at that. My God, 12,000. We caught him just in time. My goodness gracious. That is a lot of firepower. So what do you think of the USS Oregon? I mean, is this thing busted over OP overpowered, or is it just balanced just right? I mean, oh my gosh. It's just being able to flank with these guns with a burst fire gimmick in here is just, man, too much, a lot. I mean, here's the other with that Vaizama cruiser has the burst fire. So, and here we go. Funny button key. Yodo right here. I know I can overmatch this close, this in. Just aim right under the turrets, and ouch, she goes down. My goodness gracious. I am wanted to ram this guy at this point because I've committed way too far. I've already capped Bravo, and yeah, we're in basically the hornet's nest here, and pop the heal, see how long it survives. So we're out to 13,000 health. Let's see what the heal can do. Now the damage con, I did not build this for minimizing fire damage or whatnot, but I figured, you know what, whatever. We're already blasting through everything, so we're not building this thing for survivability. We're just here to shoot. Oh my goodness gracious. Shot over 31,000 damage right there into the rubric, so my good golly almighty. That was a lot of firepower. So we're going to push right in here again, and we're going to go broadside to Kearsarge. Again, Kearsarge. Now, the beautiful thing about shooting a Kearsarge is the armor decked and the aircraft carrier bay is so massive that you got a big target to shoot at. So, big broadside of the barn. Let's see what we can do. 63,000 health right there, bringing it down to about 53, so he took 10 off. Not the greatest that I would like, so let's see what the funny button key. I only got 8 shots left in the funny button key, so let's see how this works. Here's the first salvo. Didn't do as much damage. We might as well have just been shooting regular shells right here. Now you can't hit. Now once you run out of ammo, I believe you can hit the funny button key again, and it gives you just a burst fire gimmick. But the shells are normal shells. You really just get the burst fire gimmick. So let's see. Full broadside here. Looks beautiful, right? Oh, we don't get it. Only 19,000 damage. My goodness, that should have been the kill right there. But yeah, it's a tough one. It's tough to sometimes use this thing. I don't know. Ooh, we get an extra consumable charge. Now we do suck up a lot of damage. Everybody loves shooting the Oregon. 268,000 damage, 5 citadels, 3 kills. My goodness gracious. Oh, finally the Kearsarge gets slaughtered there. All right, we get burst fire gimmick there. You can see, even without the shells, I can do the burst fire, but you don't get the super shell penetrating all wonderful God of Thor levels of firepower. Oh my gosh, look at these. Yodo and a Seattle full broadside. If only I had the funny button key right here. This would be amazing right here, right? Unfortunately, we don't. We get the F key, but we can just do the burst fire right here. So you get to shoot, you know, basically a double shot, double tap. But again, the shells are kind of just normal shells now. They don't really, they do a lot of damage, just not the amount of damage you'd like in the special shells, right? Special ammo. And I don't know if that's really the gimmick people want to go for. I guess that's a World of Tanks thing, having special ammo, but whatever. All right, let's take one look video. We lost that one, but we did our best. We do a lot of damage. Holy crap. 300,000 damage, my goodness, and we still couldn't win. How did we do in the team? Yeah, number 1 in the team just by doing sheers of volumes of damage. Last video, let's take a look at it. Okay, last video with the USS Oregon, and this game right here was pretty amazing. All I did was try to flank somebody. As you can see, moving up on the Alpha Bravo cap, unbreakable line, just pushing right up to the flank, and you can see what the firepower of this thing can do when you catch open flanks. So what do I think of USS Oregon? It is a funny gimmick ship, experimental. I don't like the experimental ships, honestly. I think the fact that it costs credits to get, and then they're going to take it away, I don't like that gimmick right there. And then, of course, they add the gimmicks of these burst fires, special shells, and whatnot. Oh, my God, I loaded HE on that one. Okay, forgive me, chat. Very, very bad right there on me. That would have deleted the Minotaur right there with the burst fire. But, okay, we've selected the correct shell now, and we've got the burst fire. Anyways, it's funny and fun for the time being. But, yeah, do they remove this? Yeah, and they're going to take my credits with it. I don't like that gimmick where they take the credits and they take the ship away. It's almost like they're trying to correct the inflation they created with the credit system. So they just took away all the credits and gave you nothing back, right? So another example of wargaming taking it, and bow shot right there in the ass. Spitting glass in your ass with the USS Oregon, blasting the Minotaur. And oh my God, slam on the brakes and slap me silly. Look at the Prince Van Orange here. And this is a classic textbook 101 shot of how to shoot citadels right here. And we're literally putting a reticle right beneath the turrets where a citadel would be. And we're going to fire where the shells should be going at. 1, 2, 3, and blap. He goes down. Again, that's the gimmick. That is the gimmick of the Oregon here, of just burst fire. And this thing literally is just having a shotgun burst fire gimmick where you can literally blast the crap of someone's HP and send it to the bottom of the abyss. So I don't know if this is cool, especially with these brawling modes and gimmicks nowadays. And holy crap, here is yeah, oh my God, goodbye, say kiss goodbye Nord here, and yowzer. But at least he gets the kill on me. But, man, we took out literally 3 ships on the flank there, and just leave it up to my team to really clean up after that. But taking out 3 ships under 4,000 damage, I don't know, guys. I mean, is that busted? We're going to try that again. I like that flank right there. Shooting long range. At the Colombo here, we're still getting some hits. Back turret, best turret right there. Let's see if we get to get some hits off of him. Holy crap, we got back turret, got 5,500 damage. My God. I'm speeding up video here just to get the boring sailing out of the way. But yeah, how you guys doing? You guys enjoying Unbreakable Line lately? I'm getting more people to play it, and I've noticed a lot of people are with me, and they do enjoy Unbreakable Line a lot more because they're tired and they're having the sub and CV fatigue right now. So get on it. If you're tired of it, just come on over to Unbreakable Line, have fun, make new friends, and just do a lot of brawling. I mean, just this enjoyable. I mean, look, I'm up against 3 versus 1 here. I got an Iowa, Minotaur, and Prince Orange, and I'm trying to figure out, well, how do I do this? How do I combat this and win this fight? So it really makes you think, especially in these brawling engagements. Of course, my team's sitting behind islands, and they want to play the old random style gameplay, but I enjoy this. I mean, it's actually fun. Look at that, 10,000 plus damage. I think it was 20,000 I took off him. Unfortunately, he's going to show full broadside to us, Rotting Fish. What a name, huh? Well, show full broadside to us. We got 10 seconds left to do a full send right here into his broadside. He's not even looking at us, and this is why I like Unbreakable Line. There's so much going on, people just don't realize you're there. Here it is, full send. Oh, that feels so good. 1 Citadel on that shot, a lot of overpins, but that is the burst fire gimmick. All right, how do we handle this? A Schlieffen and an Iowa. So here's some situational awareness you got to figure out. And how do I overpin, or not overpin, but Citadel the Iowa that is angled away? Do I shoot it down the butt here, or does his 32 mil bow stop these guns at these ranges? So again, it's a lot of good experimentation trying to figure out how to maneuver. I kind of angled here thinking it was going to pin, but I forgot the orientation of the guns. I get all ricochets. There is a lesson of what not to do, ladies and gents. And maybe I should have aimed, because I'm not used to being this close, maybe I should have aimed right at his ass, and that would have solved that problem right there. Yeah, we die in that, but let's get it back into the game and see if we can come back and solve that problem. All right, we have shot out on the GK. Now Colombo is coming up here. Let's go ahead and speed it up and get it to 3 seconds left. Full send. All right, how do we shoot a Colombo right here? And he's angled it just enough right here. I think our shell should be able to pin. There's some damage. 8,000, 8,900, 14,000, and 5,500. Not bad. 46,000 damage left. And let's see if we can get another burst fire shot on him as well. Surprisingly, secondaries are actually doing something. All right, here's a nice shot right here, full broadside, and ouch, ouch, and man, we still can't kill this guy. Goodness gracious. Well, at least he's burning down. All right, I mean, that was an example of just, you know, basic guns. I'm out of the special shell damage. We got the funny button key arm. Notice that it does increase the reload a little bit more, but again, you can fire 3 sets. So tell me, is that better, having a burst fire or not? See, a 19-second reload or 20-second reload, but I shoot 2 salvos worth. I mean, in me, this is kind of like that USS Johnson thing gimmick where you shoot the burst fire because you get just the same amount, if not more damage, just by doing the burst fire. So it encourages you to fire burst fire more. And ouch, he goes down again. 5 kills, 249,000 damage for taking out. The Prince of Orange just is not having a good day with us in this map right now, and it is just too much firepower coming in at us. We're currently losing right now. I think that's based on the score gimmick. We're taking Alpha and Bravo. We got to take this Schlieffen out of here, and then we'll work on the Njord So I like this mode because it makes you think, okay, once I kill this guy, who's the next target for a re-attack? So I got to basically come back around and maneuver to position myself to set yourself up for the next kill. All right, we're at 21-second reload here, or I'm sorry, it's 27-second reload. We got a burst fire into him. We got 255,000 damage. He's going full broadside to us now. He's distracted by the Pommers, and this should be a nice textbook shot on a broadside. 6 seconds left right here. We've got our aiming ready to go. Aiming right above the waterline. Crews are ready. Loaded guns and full send. Right into the side right there, and ouch, ouch, ouch. He goes down. Citadel shot. 281,000 damage, 6 kills. We avoid the torpedoes from Njord right here. And again, I feel so bad for the Njord. He was just having a bad day with us in the loop here. And we also, we almost capped the center alpha there spot. But you know what? We got to worry about this. He's probably going to launch torpedoes at us, but we got to kill this guy before he launches. Full send crews. Load him. Hurry up. There it is. And boom, he goes down. Not enough angle to get us on the torpedo shots. And now we've got an angle against a GK and an Iowa, and our heal is not off a cooldown. So my gosh, 6 kills, 313,000 damage, and that was a game-wrecking maneuver right there. Taking that many ships out in the center, and we are still rocking and rolling. And can we get a shot off? No, we cannot. But I think we did our part. We got as many ships out as we could, and now we got to start over again. So let's see if we can come back and win this game. Shooting out on the GK here. All right, who's going to be our next victim? GK will be preoccupied by Palmer, and Libertad. I'll help the Libertad out here with Colombo. Holy crap, we actually get damage off of that. 2 shell hits. I mean, sometimes these gimmicks or the guns just randomly hit stuff. RNG Jesus is favoring these experimental ships sometimes. Burst fire right there, but normal shells, but we still get a burst fire gimmick, and oh my goodness gracious, shooting out the bow right there. So we still get damage, 7 hits. So the more shells you send out, obviously the better hit ratio you get. So let's see, GK goes down. That's a good part on our team right there. And let's see if we can get another shot on Colombo. Oh, he goes down as well. I think the scores are reversed, so we may be in the lead right now. 1 second left in the game, and did we win? Yes, we did. Oh, my gosh. So 6 kills, 342,000 damage. My gosh, this Oregon can pump out some damage with the burst fire gimmick. But as always, what do you guys think? Thanks for stopping by if this is your first time here. Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you see value in what we're doing here, smash those buttons. Thank you again for supporting the channel. And if you see me out there, make sure you say hello, and we appreciate your time. And as always, until next time, you guys stay safe. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.